How you doing? This is Ben the Reviewer, and this is the channel where I analyze whatever shit I want. TV shows, movies, music, video games, whatever. Another thing about me is that in the case of TV shows, depending on the format, when I tackle serialized shows, I'd review the show as a whole, but when it comes to episodic ones, I'd review episodes individually. For this first ever review in this channel, I'm doing the former. Now that you know all you know about me, let me start this bitch with a review of what I think is an underappreciated spin-off of Friends, which is one of the most, if not the most popular sitcoms in TV history. And that spin-off is Joey. This spin-off is about Joey Tribbiani, who in Friends lived in New York, moving to Hollywood to pursue his career as an actor, and he reunites with his sister and uncle as well as meets new friends along the way. I personally think Joey is way better than Friends. Please don't fucking crucify me for this. I think the main reason it got so much hate when it first aired was because it was judged on the Friends pedigree. I personally think it would have gotten more respect if it was its own thing. It has great jokes, fun plots, and overall has a nice vibe in the way that I personally would love to hang out or live with these people. So now I'm going to analyze the characters. Joey Tribbiani, who was in Friends before this, is a struggling actor who is always searching for other work. He is a somewhat dim-witted but very compassionate soul. One phrase that would describe him is ladies' man. One of his main character traits is that he seemed to want to fuck random women in both the original series and his spin-off. I'm going to be brutally honest. Of the 6 Friends, Joey is most likely my favorite, perhaps because, for one, again, I was more invested in the Joey spin-off than Friends. Besides that, Joey is also the most relatable to me. Watching Joey, I've always found myself identifying with this character in more ways than one. So let's give the other characters in this show some credit. I don't have time to analyze every single person that's ever appeared in this show, so I'm going to analyze the other main ones. Gina is Joey's sister. Joey has tons of other sisters, but Gina's the one we see the most. She's a hairdresser. She's tough, aggressive, caring, and pretty attractive. She provides for her son Michael. The jokes revolved around her are funny for the most part. Dre DiMatteo does a decent job acting as Gina. I think she has great chemistry with everyone else in the show. Not much to say here. Michael is Gina's son and Joey's nephew. He is highly intelligent and responsible but lacks social skills. He looks up to his uncle, especially when it comes to advice for interacting with women. In other words, he's essentially a mix of Gretchen Grundler from Recess and Chris Griffin from Family Guy. I think he's interesting to watch. I love the interactions between Michael and Joey. I find it kind of heartwarming to see him support his family with whatever they do. Bobby Morganson is Joey's agent and is one of the most powerful women in Hollywood. She is aggressive and ditzy. She is my favorite character in this show. Holy shit. Jennifer Coolidge gives a brilliant performance. Bobby is easily the most entertaining character in the show. Her jokes are spot on. She brings such an energy to the stories and makes me laugh nearly every time she appears on screen. In fact, even in episodes of the show I didn't like, she was the highlight. If there's anything in this show I could always count on, it's Bobby. From the very first moment she appeared, I fucking knew Alex Garrett was going to be my least favorite character in the show. She's a lawyer, and she's a ditzy blonde like Bobby, but lacks the wit, charm, energy, and passion that made Bobby a great character. I don't know if she exists just for comic relief. We already have Bobby for that, and she's much better. Alex is just not as interesting or as funny as the rest of the cast. It's not that Alex is a bad character per se, it's just that she's boring. I'm not going to talk about the characters that appeared in Season 2, such as Zach Miller or Jimmy Costa, because the 5 I mentioned were the main ones that appeared in every single episode. So, do I have any problems with this show, besides Alex being kind of pointless? Yes. Whenever they tried to do romantic story arcs, it left me questioning plenty of the writing decisions made there. Keep in mind, I would easily take anything this spin-off did over the bullshit Ross-Rachel storyline from Friends. That was infuriating. The instant that U2 song played, that should have been the very end of that arc. But no, we must keep that arc going throughout the entire 9-season series, because why the fuck not? Whenever the Joey spin-off tried to do this, it was more confusing than anything. Why did Gina announce that she was pregnant when she really wasn't? Why did Joey even think about dating Carmen Electra in Joey and the Dad when he clearly expressed interest in getting with Alex? Is Gina actually Michael's mother if Jimmy's already married, or vice versa? Why is Alex totally okay with having sex with Joey and the holding hands when she was very uncomfortable with having done it in the Season 2 premiere? May I ask, why is Joey fucking Tribbiani of all people whining over his relationship with Alex lacking a deeper connection and it needing to be more than sexual activity when the only requisite he had with dating almost every woman in not just this spin-off but in the much longer, much bigger original Friends before it was that they turn him on? I swear, Joey and the Holding Hands is probably the worst episode of the show. And the very next episode, Joey and the Wedding, which is the series finale, isn't much better. It didn't feel like there was any actual payoff, and all throughout the episode it felt extremely rushed and half-assed, like they didn't really know how to wrap shit up. But despite all my problems with the show, I can still say overall I had a good experience with Joey. This spin-off does justice to Joey's character for the most part, which I believe is very important when taking characters from previous works and making them the main star. It was funny, it was witty, it was pretty clever. Now, you are most likely wondering why I've put Joey on a higher pedestal than Friends. Besides the fact that every single moment, even the ones I found the least favorable in this show, I think are more watchable than Ross and Rachel bawling over petty reasons for 2 solid minutes. 2 words. Creative freedom. To me, Friends is a hit-or-miss show. I can get some sort of entertainment from that show, but I feel like Joey had a special kind of charm that the other 5 characters didn't quite seem to have. He was pretty much the most enjoyable part of that show. Also, like I said, he's the character that I can relate to the most. Seeing him get an even bigger spotlight certainly made the spin-off 3 times more worth watching. Personally, I think there are plenty of fictional characters from a wide variety of shows, movies, video games, and whatnot that I think should become main stars. I know many may disagree with me on that, but I believe that spin-offs featuring characters become the main star have the potential to be not only good, but surpass the original on the account that it's done correctly. And I think that the Joey Tribbiani spin-off was a great example of that. Well, that was my review. There is a shit ton of other opportunities for reviews that I think I'd like to take on, so I plan to do that.